I would like to invite you into my studio. Let's take our seats. The music's about to begin.
Get my equipment off. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight, for helping me resurrect this place, Perelandra. This is a place of music. This is where my friends pour their hearts out. That's what they do. And they've lost their income, largely, not totally, but in a pretty big part in the last year. And so now we're here. We're here. You're here with me and David in a minute. So thank you. I want to say a word first about Zachary, who is running all of the cameras, by the way, and the sound system and everything else. He's my apprentice. He's been with me. Well, he's no journeyman. Sorry, Zach. He's a journeyman. He's been here 7 years. He's like that close to being a master craftsman. I mean, right on the tip. But he's doing good. And the other thing I wanted to say is that because of the last year, which has been odd, you know, David, that might have been picked up on camera. He couldn't help it. This is how this guy writes songs. He hears things. I love this about David. Honestly, 3 of my favorite people in the world are all named David. What? Well, 4. The guy with the stones, 5 stones. He was pretty cool. But the new guys are like LaMotte, Wilcox, and Holt. And those are my 3 favorite Davids in the whole world. They've all played here. And so anyhow, I'm waxing on. Sorry. I'm excited. I can't help it. This is my freaking studio, and it's rising from the ashes, and it's doing it for a purpose, to give these guys a place to sing to you in your living room. They don't have to drive to your town. They don't have to fly to your town. Not that they wouldn't want to. They absolutely would, but it's complicated, right? So this is why I have transformed Perelandra into this situation. I got the cameras, right? Got the lighting, got the sound, got the musicians. And so what we are going to do from now on and forever is play the music you would probably enjoy hearing. I'm just guessing. I know, I'm spitballing here, but I'm just saying Muriel was awesome. I am so grateful to my good friend, David. Thank you. And I'm so thankful to you to be here tonight. My friends, my neighbors, the supporters of Perelandra and music in general, that propel, that raise the kingdom. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. So thank you. Please enjoy this. David LaMotte.
Hey friends, hope you're doing all right. Thank you, Jerry. It's good to have you here. Usually I have to play a song before I make somebody cry. I don't know, man. It's good. We're just going to kick it right off on that note tonight. Hope y'all are doing well. These are crazy days, and I don't know about you, but I find that music helps me a lot in terms of finding my way through complicated times. So I got some songs for you here. This is a brand new one, actually. I just wrote it a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe, and it's a poignant song for me. I actually dreamed part of it. I dreamed this first line of the song, "The work of light," is the phrase. And I woke up with that phrase in my head, and I thought, what in the world does that mean? And so I started exploring that, writing about it. And as I did, this song kind of came out. I got some hard news some really tragic news about a dear friend while I was kind of in the middle of writing this song, and she's wrapped up in this song as well. So I'll start here, and we won't spend the whole night all heavy, but somehow this seemed like the right song to begin the night with tonight. It's called "The Work of Light." The work of light, work of light, the work of light is to warm and nourish, to show the way and reveal what's true. The work of light is to weave together from the soil and refuse, making something new. The work of light is to clear our vision to the words that form our poetry. The work of light is to herald daybreak, once again illumine possibility. And the planets keep on turning, and the oceans fall and rise. Let me see the light that's shining, then let me close my eyes. Gift of night is to stop our struggling, to rest our spirits and to rest our bones. The gift of night is to draw together, to collect what's scattered and bring it all back home. The gift of night is to hold the circle, to calm the chatter, oh, where the candle shines. The gift of night is to seize the swirl of dreaming when the spirits whisper across the borderline, and the planets keep on turning, and the oceans fall and rise. Show me all the light that's shining, then let me close my eyes. So that's a brand new one. I heard an old blues man say one time that you should always play the brand new ones first, because if you completely blow it, by the time you get to the end of the show, nobody will remember. It'll be fine. So I'll take that advice. I was considering doing the whole show tonight with a cat filter. It seemed to work for that lawyer guy. I don't know if you heard about that. The lawyer that was in court on video, and he got stuck in Zoom on the cat filter, and he couldn't make the cat filter go away. He was trying to argue this case in court before a judge. That's got to be a terrible feeling. And then my friend Gareth I was talking to this morning, he said his brother was talking to him, and he said, I just want to be sure, now I'm curious as to actually whether all my friends are really cats with people filters. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm happy to say none of that has anything to do with this song. So they built their shiny hotel where the water meets the land. They smiled a little nervously as the ocean took the sand. They went down below the shoreline and they hauled it back again. But the heavy rain and the hurricane and the water's gonna win. The water's gonna win. You can bring it all back, it will wash away again. The water's gonna win. Pack it up or pack it in. The water's gonna win. The glass of water you were sipping as you watch the morning come has quenched the thirst of 7 others underneath a younger sun. We are memories and moments. We are born and born again. We are rushing stream and breathing steam, and the water's gonna win. The water's gonna win. Ascending and falling and rising up again. The water's gonna win. Ride the tide and ride the wind. All the rocks, sign the papers, and pour another glass of gin. Cut the ribbon with the scissors, but the water's gonna win. Hey, 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 hey. Hi. You went down beside the river just about a year ago. Gave the ashes to the current, watch them swirl into the flow, and you still hold it all inside you. You can't stop once you begin. Close your eyes and feel it rising. Hey, the water's gonna win. The water's gonna win. You can't hold back the tide. You can't hide from what's within. The water's gonna win. Feel it flow beneath your skin. The water's gonna win. It will keep flowing through all we are and all we've been. The water's gonna win forever and amen. The water's gonna win. Yeah, man. I haven't broken it yet. It's held up okay over the years. I don't know if y'all can actually hear things that Jerry is saying, or if it just sounds like a one-sided conversation. Jerry was noting the fact that I haven't bent my neck to the point where it breaks yet, but I'm going to play you all my own songs tonight, except for this one, which is traditional, so that's in bounds, I think. You know, that's okay, right? Yeah. Okay. So I miss y'all. I miss being in the same room with you. But I'm amazed at the incredible ingenuity that people are showing in this time to make things work, you know, to find community, because we all are so keenly aware of how much we need each other right now. And no, the digital community is not quite the same as being in the same room, but it ain't nothing. I'm really grateful to have ways to connect and play music for people across the miles. And Jerry was looking out for me there in the introduction and trying to encourage you all to look out for me too, but I want to let you know that I'm okay. I'm feeling really supported and grateful in these days, because people find ways, even when the water is kind of wide between us. The water is wide, I can't cross over, neither have I wings to fly. Build me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row, my love and I. There is a ship, she sails the sea, she's loaded deep, as deep can be, but not so deep as the love I'm in. I know not how I sink or swim, oh, love is handsome, and love is fine, the sweetest flower, when first it's new, but love grows old, waxes cold, and fades away like summer dew. Though I may speak with tongues of fire and have the gift to all inspire, and have not love, my words are vain as sounding brass and hopeless game. water is wide, I can't cross over, neither have I the wings to fly. Build me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row, and both shall row, and both shall row, my love and I. Well, I find myself wanting to ask how you're doing and just listen for a minute and see how things are going with you. I have friends who are having all sorts of different experiences these days, and I am always reluctant to overgeneralize, but I got a lot of friends who are hurting. It's just a really challenging time. So, again, I'm grateful for music and I'm grateful for community. And speaking of community, I'm really particularly grateful for the Patreon community. A lot of y'all are on this, are watching along tonight, and we'll hang out later at the after party that I always do after a digital show with the Patreon crew. If you're not familiar with Patreon, it's a digital community that is subscription based, but you can make it cost whatever you want. So it can be $1 a month. I don't have a way to make it free, but it is. It can be pretty close to free, and it's just a lovely community of people. What I do is I gather with folks from time to time, and I play them songs. I just started up the Music Monday thing again that I did last year for a while, where I send people a song every Monday and a little bit of background on the song, make a little video, and I've got I'm working on audio chapters of a new book, an audio version of my book World Changing 101, not a new book, but a new audio book. And then every month I send folks a brand new song that I'm working on. Usually it's not very polished. Usually it's just getting started. But folks get to take a look at things that are really raw and in progress, and sometimes offer some feedback that is really valuable to me. So the very first song I played tonight was my song for last month, for January. And 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, I don't know what month it was, I had this song called Gone, which was inspired by a Mary Oliver poem. And I had to go back and find the poem later. She's such a marvelous writer. And she offered a thought that developed into this song. I have a little lake not far from my house. We call it a lake. It's really an oversized pond, but we call it Lake Tomahawk. And Lake Tomahawk has this blue heron that comes through once or twice a year and hangs out for a few weeks and then just disappears. And it's always so special when the blue heron comes back. And I was thinking about that heron in reading a Mary Oliver poem that also touched on a blue heron. And here's the song. I could go ahead and sing it now, or I could talk about it for a while longer. No, I'll just sing it. Okay, here it goes. Brushstroke blue heron glides graceful and low. Negative space on a cool morning gray. Turn of a feather and up she will go. Fade in the fog and then fly far away. I'm standing watching alone on the shore, holding the taste of her grace on my tongue. Savor the moment, just one moment more. Memory and mist will burn off with the day. Memory and mist will burn off with the day. Gone, not gone into nothing, but gone into everything. Gone, but here with me now, like the memories of all I have seen. Here and and gone. I can remember your skin on my skin, safe in my arms in the warmth of my home, bound to another as I'd never been, breathing our promises solid as stone. Gone, not gone into nothing, but gone into everything. Gone, but here with me now, like the memories of all I have been, here and gone, here and gone. All of the magic and all of the mystery, all in the smallest of things. All of a sudden it shatters my soul, then it's gone like a bird on the wing. It's gone like a bird on the wing. Brown as the winter grass, hollow as reed, quiet as morning recedes into day, fractured by gentleness, captured and freed. I can almost remember that line. Fractured by gentleness, captured and freed, painting the pictures with no word to say. Gone, not gone into nothing, but gone into everything. Gone, but here with me now, like the memories of all I have seen. Like the memories of all I have seen, here and gone. Let's see. So I've played you two new songs, and they're both a little rough, but it's good to be writing. I'm so grateful to the accountability of the Patreon community, because I've made this promise. I've been doing more writing in the last year than I ever have in my whole life, and I'm about to the point where I'm thinking about a new album. I've got enough songs together that it feels like I need to book a little studio time, so super excited about that. I'm going to switch guitars here. I got a request for this song at my last show, and I didn't get a chance to play it, so I'm going to play it tonight, and I'm just going to hope that the person who requested it then is watching, because I didn't get to play it that night. I had this water bottle somewhere, and I don't know where it went. Oh, different guitar anyway. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. Huh. There was a water bottle in my life. I remember that. Gone. So it's a wintry song. Thanks, buddy. And thank you, Zach, for doing what you're doing tonight, making this happen. Yeah, I talked to a friend in Dallas today. My friend Verzola said that y'all are getting down to 0 in Dallas in the next little bit. I'm expecting 3 to 6 inches of snow in Dallas. It's crazy. And meanwhile, I'm looking around up here, and it's chilly up here, and we've had a little bit of snow, and that's been nice, and nothing like y'all up north that are getting blanketed in feet of snow. We get inches of snow down here, and that's a big snow if we get a few inches. But meanwhile, there are crocuses popping up in my front yard. They can't wait. They're ready. Or they're coming on whether they're ready or not. I don't know about you. For me, it's been a fairly long winter. But I am starting to feel just a breath of spring on the air. Before we get out of the winter, though, I'll play you this winter song. This one's not about spring. The barren branches stark against the sky, too cold to breathe. They hold the golden sunlight as it were a fragile thing, and stand outside my window, beckoning to me. But I list the warmth of sunlight among things I once believed. The leaves were brown and brittle, and they broke beneath your step. They rustled all around your feet and settled as you went. I listened for your footsteps and the sigh of your regret. The sky and I are waiting, but we haven't heard them yet. Winter clear, winter clear. The first storm of the winter took a tall and ancient tree. She gave in to the tempest like a worn terpsichore. Now I can see her graceful strength was hollow underneath. The graying sky and I must read the rings of history. Winter clear, winter clear, winter clear. Winter clear. Well, that's a peppy little number for you. I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. It's been a fairly heavy set of songs here so far. Here's another song from the last year or so. It's a song about how it's done. Seems like we're driving each other crazy. She can't relax and she says I'm lazy. Every little thing I do or say, well, she seemed to think she got a better way. All frustrated and up all night, 'cause there's two ways to do it, but one is right. Hands on her hips with the usual scowl, looking at the way I folded that towel. And sometimes I think I might end up dead, 'cause I didn't put the twisty thing back on the bread. Sure, I'll take the trash out in just a minute, but if you push it down a little, you could get more in it. And the way it's done is the way I do it, and the way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long, if you don't mind doing it wrong. Thought it might help with the situation, get away together for a little vacation. So we cleared the time, but we didn't get far, 'cause first we had to pack the car. We survived that part without going insane. And then she drove away slow in the fast lane. And the way it's done is the way I do it. And the way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it wrong. Which way the forks go, up or down, and which way the toilet paper spins around, and when you put your headlights dim or bright, and when you slow down for the traffic light, how dark to go when you toast the bread, and how many pillows do you need on one bed, and whose turn it is to let out the cat, and are you really gonna put ketchup on that, which way to vote in the next election, and when we're gonna stop and ask for directions. And I don't wanna start a whole bunch of drama, but don't get me going on the Oxford comma, 'cause the way it's done is the way I do it. The way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it the way it's done. Well, I love you, baby, and I hate to fight. And I don't mean to sound like I'm always right. I mean, there's lots of stuff still left to discover and plenty of things we can learn from each other. So go on and show me how your way is better, and I'll just come back and fix it later. 'Cause the way it's done is the way I do it, and the way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it the way it's done. The way I do it, and the way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it wrong. Big rock and roll finish. Oh man, you know, I do that silly rock and roll finish on the end of that song, and it makes me think about a recent trip I had to the doctor. This is what guys my age talk about. We just talk about our trips to the doctor. It's wonderful. You'll love it. Very entertaining. So I went to see a doctor who's really young and who's super smart, friendly. He listened to me. He was great. Bordering on too much information here, but I had a kidney stone not too long ago. So this is a follow-up. And he said, what's going on? I said, well, I just got a little low back pain. Kind of thought it would go away by now. I attribute it to the stone. He said, well, you probably know your own body. That's probably what it is. If it weren't for that, I would want to eliminate a compression fracture. Compression fracture in your spine, right? He said these words to me. This competent, delightful doctor said these words. He said, guys your age can get a compression fracture just walking around. I want you to know that I did help him clean up the blood after I broke his nose. No. I'm deeply committed to nonviolence, but I almost renounced it in that moment. Guys, what? Yeah, okay. So anyway, it's Valentine's Day Eve, and it's a complicated holiday. It's kind of a Hallmark holiday in some ways. I'm all about celebrating love, and I'm also aware that that's really painful for folks if you're feeling lonely right now, which so many people are. It's a lonely time. So I do need to sing a love song tonight for my sweetheart because I adore her. And I'm not even going to sing one of the love songs I've written, one of several love songs I've written that talk about throwing up. I'm going to sing, by golly, a real love song for my sweetheart tonight. And it's on that guitar, so I'm going to switch it up. But I'm going to plug it back in when I do this. So I hope y'all are doing well. I didn't really, I didn't engineer a way for me to read comments tonight, so I'm assuming that you're doing all right. Because Steve is out there answering comments on Facebook and YouTube and Crowdcast and sharing links with y'all if you need them and stuff. And if you have questions about things, you can ask him. He may or may not have answers, but he's a really nice guy. He'll talk to you about it. So, let's see. I want to play you these two songs. I remember so clearly writing these songs. My sweetheart grew up in, her name is Deanna. She grew up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I know that's strange. Not many people grow up there. But that's where she's from, just south of there, on Surfside. And I went down to see her folks one time, very early in our relationship. In fact, it was the first time I met them. And we had a really nice trip. But on that trip, one morning, I woke up early and this song was in my head. And it's actually two songs. There's an instrumental introduction and then another song. And the song with words is called Home. And the song before it is an instrumental, so you can call it anything you want. That's a great thing about an instrumental piece. Ain't that right, Zach, as a hammered dulcimer player, right? You can just call it anything you want. So I named this song Deanna, which is my wife's name. It would be really weird if it was somebody else's name. So this is Deanna and Home. On Valentine's Day, Eve. I love to watch you sleeping, to see your shoulders rise and fall. I can watch your mind go wandering till you're not anywhere at all. I will let you slip away now. You'll find your way back home. I know you know the way, love, so I'll wait here while you roam until you are home. You are home to me. Till you are home to me. I love to watch you waking, wandering back across the stars. How you curl yourself into me when you remember where you are. I love your lips for many reasons. I love to hear the things they say. But just for now, I love the silence. The words can wait until the day. Because you are home to me. You are home to me, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah. There are many miles between us. can't reach out to touch your hand. When there's no one that I love here, I don't quite understand. In some hotel like any other, when I should feel far away, it's like you're sitting here beside me, like I'm finally home to stay. Because you are home to me. You are my home, you are home to me, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For my sweetie. Let's see. So I've got another new song to play for you if I can pull it off. It's got a lot of words. So I'll see if I can remember them all. And it's not really in a style that I normally play. But it needed a little mountain in it, this song. So what's going on is there's this amazing event I want to invite you to on the 22nd, which is, week from Monday night, something like that. And it's the release of a documentary film by John Kennedy and David Sach, who are brilliant documentarian filmmakers who made the documentary about Abraham Jam. By the way, the documentary about Abraham Jam, my trio, just got into its 5th film festival in India. Super exciting. Boy, I'd love to go to the film festival. I so long to get back to India. But yeah, we're really excited about the fact that it's in its 5th film festival. We got our 5th little official selection laurel, and that's super exciting. But the new documentary, it's just 8 minutes long. It's a mini doc. It's coming out a week from Monday. And we're going to do an online release event to show it to people with interviews of local folks who know something in their personal history about the stories that are told in the film. So the film is about a mural, and the mural is about 2 really important things that happened in the 50s in Old Fort, North Carolina, just down the mountain from where I live, in the history of old forts and really the nation's struggle for racial equity. It's a really powerful set of stories. 1950, folks tried to close a school there. The school board tried to close a school that had been built with donations from the African-American community because the African-American community wanted a school for their kids. And the school board said, no, we're not going to fund that. So they built their own school. And then the school board came and shut it down even though they hadn't built it. So the kids went down and protested on Main Street in Old Fort. In a rural mountain town, these young African-American children went and protested in the middle of town in 1950. 1950, friends. That's 4 years before it was even ordained. No, that can't be right. Anyway, it was really early in civil rights history, right? 55 was when Rosa Parks was arrested, December 1st, and this was all before that. So this history was on the verge of being lost until some community activists started getting together and talking about how to preserve that history and celebrate it. And there's more to the story, of course, but I'm going to sing you the song, so I won't tell you the whole story. And so this documentary has been made. It's going to come out on the 22nd. And I'm so proud of this community and so honored to be a part of this effort to tell these stories, because these stories inform the work that we have to do still today. It's good to hang on to them and to honor the folks who went before us and showed us how it's done. So the song's called The Ballad of Catawba View, and I'm going to see if I can play it for you. Let's see. In the 40s, down in Old Fort, mostly white folks ran the show. When black families said they need a school, the school board just said nope. But they made a way from no way, 'cause that's what you learn to do. They each put in some money and they gathered up their tools, and they built Catawba View, as fine as any school around, to educate their children in this little mountain town. Sometimes there will be danger, sometimes there will be cost, but if we don't look out for children, well then everything is lost. 'Cause the kids aren't just tomorrow, they are leading us today. If you can't find the way forward, let the children show the way. Then in 1950, well, the school board came around. Though they weren't the ones that built it, well, the school board shut it down. And they told the kids they had to ride the bus to school each day. And that school was out in Marion, over 15 miles away. So the kids got paint and brushes, made some signs and made some noise. They marched right down to Main Street, these courageous girls and boys. The parents hired a lawyer, Mr. Sandlin made a fuss, but the case dragged on for 2 years while the kids still rode the bus. Sometimes there will be danger, sometimes there will be cost. If we don't look out for children, well then everything is lost. 'Cause the kids aren't just tomorrow, they are leading us today. If we can't find the way forward, let the children show the way. '52, they told the schoolhouse down like it was never there. '54, Brown versus Board told us that separate isn't fair. '55, 5 kids went down to school to register for class, thinking maybe they could study in their own hometown at last. Albert Joyner woke up, heard the news, and had a bite to eat. Then he heard some people shouting, so he looked out toward the street. Mr. Joyner saw 5 children with their skin like brown like his own. Surrounded by an angry mob, those children stood alone. Mr. Joyner worked in nursing, he'd already gotten dressed, but he went to change his clothes again into his Sunday best. He walked out to join those children, got them safely to the school. School officials blocked the steps and said they'd talk about the rules, but they couldn't come to school there. They were turned away again, and it took another decade for those kids to finally win. Sometimes there will be danger, sometimes there will be cost, but if we don't look out for children, well then everything is lost. 'Cause the kids aren't just tomorrow, they are leading us today. If we can't find the way forward, let the children show the way. Before Rosa Parks was famous, before everyone knew King, these courageous mountain people made the bells of freedom ring. In the little town of Old Fort, they stood up for what was right, looking out for their own families and not shrinking from the fight. Over years of work and hope, the arc of history can bend. If we show up for the work in hand, then love can finally win. With so many struggles still ahead, one thing is crystal clear. Though Catawba View is gone now, that bravery's still here. Sometimes there will be danger, sometimes there will be cost, but if we don't look out for children, well then everything is lost. 'Cause the kids aren't just tomorrow, they are leading us today. And if we can't find the way forward, let the children show the way. The Ballad of Catawba View. So that's a little rusty, but the documentary isn't. My goodness, it's a beautiful film. I hope you'll join us to see it on the 22nd. It's a free event, and there's information on it on my Facebook page and stuff about it. And if you want to know about stuff like that I'm doing, that I'm involved in, I've been kind of a worker bee on that committee, making that mural happen and making the movie happen and getting the word out. And if you want to know about that kind of stuff, you're always welcome to join my mailing list on my website at davidlamotte.com, or follow me on Facebook or whatever, and I'll keep you posted. Or if you really want to hang out, come join me on Patreon. It's really a special thing. It's a beautiful community. Lovely, lovely folks. Okay, so you know what? I think it's time I played an instrumental song. It is true that a whole lot of shows got canceled this past year, and I miss touring. It's weird that it's been almost a year since I've been anywhere. It's absolutely incredible. After 3,000 shows on 5 continents, I've played every one of the 50 states, and had such a joy out on the road being with y'all over these years. And I'm really looking forward to getting back out there. Hey, point of celebration, both of my parents, as of today, are vaccinated. And that allows me to breathe so much more deeply than I've been able to for some time. So, very excited about the possibility of hugging each other again. It's been a while. So that's on the way. Maybe that's a good image to hold while I play this instrumental song. It's called Shadows. It's such a joy to play it through a sound system. Never quite sure where that song's going to go on a given night. I brought 3 guitars tonight, so you'd hear me tune a little bit less, but I got to do a little bit of tuning on this one in order to play you this other. Oh, maybe I don't. This is a pandemic song. I wrote it not long after the pandemic began. And I've been kind of playing it anytime I'm playing any songs for anybody lately because it's kind of speaking my heart. Folks are talking quite a lot these days about the divisiveness in our nation and really in our world, but particularly here in the States, and that's true. We got a lot of work to do. And you hear other people talking about a need for unity. I think that's a really good goal, and unity, peacemaking doesn't mean making nice, right? Peacemaking means acknowledging what's happened, being real with each other, trying to find a way forward together. It doesn't always mean agreeing, but it does mean acknowledging things that are true. It does mean hearing each other. And the truth is, I'm kind of excited about all the energy that's being expended in that direction these days, as painful as it is. I do think it's the way forward, to try to know each other, try to hear each other, to speak painful truths sometimes, to have accountability in the mix. So this song, I guess, is a little bit about all of that and just about trying to find our way forward together. I hung this big sign on my house about 4 years ago that says, "Let's be neighbors," and it says some other things. And those signs are now hung all over the nation. There's a new one downtown here in Black Mountain on Cherry Street, right at the base of the street at Schiffer Road. And I really believe the words on that sign. And what they say is, no matter who you vote for, no matter your skin color, who you love, where you're from, we will try to be here for you. That's what community means. Let's be neighbors. And it doesn't say, no matter all these things, everything's cool. It doesn't say that, because everything's clearly not cool, right? We've got a lot of work to do. But what it does say is that we're going to have to know each other in order to work on it and make it better. I think the relationship kind of has to come first, and then the hard conversations. We have to trust each other a little bit and know each other's hearts a little bit in order to have any hope to move forward. We very seldom reject each other into making more compassionate decisions. So if you want one of those signs, you can get one, letsbeneighbors.org. You can order one, or you could just download the art and print it for free if you want. It's name your price, and free is just fine. If you want to put that message out there, go for it. I believe in it enough that I don't want anything to stand in the way of people having that sign if they want to have it. So all that to say, I believe in trying to be here for each other. This song's called Here For You. I'm going to send it out to my friend Marie in Australia tonight. She likes this song. And also to Betsy Burnham, who's recovering from COVID, and so glad that you're doing a little bit better, Betsy, and the trajectory is upward. Back in March. Oh, that's not how it starts. Let's see. I got it. Okay. Looking out my Monday window with so few cars driving by it. The main street of this river town is strangely still and quiet. The days flow by so slowly with no rhythm to the song, trying to dodge the boulders as the river rolls along. Back in March there was a meeting at the VFW. They said we're all in the same boat, but it really isn't true. 'Cause some boats have big motors and some have wooden oars. Some folks are in the water trying to swim back to the shore. Our lives hang by a thread, but you weave those threads together, they will make a rope that's strong enough to hold on to each other. If we all will pull a little, then just maybe we'll pull through. And as long as I am here, I will be here for you. There are many who need comfort, there are many mouths to feed. So bring what you can offer and ask for what you need. Let's be gentle with each other, we won't always get it right. You don't have to be a hero, just lean a little toward the light. Our lives hang by a thread, but you weave those threads together, they will make a rope that's strong enough to hold on to each other. If we all will pull a little, then just maybe we'll pull through. And as long as I am here, I said as long as I am here, I will be here for you. I got a couple songs for you. If you got time for two more, I'm gonna play two more. Right on.
My house.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for making me welcome.
Well, why would I not do that, David?
He's a very hospitable friend, y'all. So just come on over. Let's see here. Oh, look at that! Now we're famous.
Well,
Pretty.
don't. Proliferate. Oh God, I can't wait to hear this. Honestly.
Well, friends.
Sorry. I was upstairs.
All right, welcome back.
By the way, good job.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, and good to be with y'all. Let's see. I'm just glad this doesn't have as many strings as a dulcimer. That's what I'm... Because dulcimer's got strings. What do you say about tuning...
David, that's my burden.
Yeah. It's a cross to bear, buddy. But it's everybody else's blessing. I need to tell y'all that I had an LP. In fact, I'm pretty sure I still have it. When I was in college, possibly when I was in high school, had an LP called The Stray Away Child that was by this guy, Jerry Reed Smith, and Tom Fellenbaum. And I listened to that record so much. That LP, it was literally one of those things where you wear the grooves out. I listened to that album so much. It was such a beautiful piece of art. And
How old were you?
in high school and college, so I'm sure so in 81 I was about 13. So yeah, and I'm sure I didn't get it right away. I'm sure I got it a little after that, but I probably had it by the time I was 15. Come to think of it, so I've been listening to your music a long time, buddy. Yeah, well now you know. Pretty cool. So it's nice to be playing in your house. Thank you. a few years after that, I was a young, skinny musician paying $200 a month rent to live in Helen Schoss's basement up in Montreat so that I could try to make a go at playing music for a living. Part of the trick, if you want to make a living playing music, you keep your overhead really, really low. And that's what I was trying to do. And Jerry, hang on, I got a story. I'm telling a story. All right. So Jerry had Song of the Wood downtown in Black Mountain for many, many years. And in those days, he was... There were some lessons happening there, and he let me teach guitar lessons out of the back room of Song of the Wood, which gave me just a few bucks more every month to buy mac and cheese, which is pretty much what I lived on. You could get them 4 for $1 back in the day at Ingles, right? And you can live on that stuff for a pretty long time. Those were good years. So we go way, way back, buddy. And it's nice that there's still this connection after all these years. So thank you for that. And a few years after that, or I guess a few years before I was teaching in your shop, you helped David Wilcox make his very first album on your record label. That was pretty cool before he signed with A&M. Yeah, we've had some good adventures over the years. Yeah. And there were some hard days back then, too. And it's good to remember that, because these hard days are not the only hard days, right? And there can be light after. Yeah. So I'm going to sing a song about that. It's called Hope. I'm going to turn my guitar back on before I do it. 2, 3. It's not a rule I've been keeping to very carefully. We're back to the talk, yeah. My favorite words about hope, if you know me well, you've heard me quote them before, from Václav Havel. He said, "Hope is not prognostication. It is an orientation of the spirit. It's not about what you think is going to happen. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you choose to do, sometimes in spite of how you feel, rather than because of how you feel." My sister, I heard my sister Margaret quote Helen Prejean a couple of days ago, anti-death penalty activist, and she said, let me see if I can get it right. Now I'm not going to be able to pull it up properly, but it's roughly the idea is I have to pay attention to what I do so I'll know what I believe. And it's Black History Month, and this song is touching on some Black history, some hard Black history about church burnings in the 90s. But the song is called Hope, and that's no accident, because people showed up to rebuild all those churches that were burned down. People of various skin tones, and people of various faiths and various world perspectives and cosmologies decided that they didn't believe that you can meet hatred with hatred. If you want to oppose it, they understood that if you want to contest hatred, you got to do that with love. If you want to oppose people who burn things down, you got to do that by building. So this song is called Hope. In the Southland, we're lighting the night sky with a fire from a church burning down. When the sun comes up again, the white and black men stand and stare at the soot on the ground. They raise up their weapons and they summon their strength, and they cut at the wood with their swords. But they're striking their blows against hatred, 'cause they're hammering nails into boards. I keep thinking I hear the four horsemen, and turning around to see it's just the Pony Express again. They've got a message for me. I got a lot of hope for the future. Got a lot of faith things can work out fine. Got a lot of dreams for a better world. Got a lot of work to do if I'm gonna make them mine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My town is still mostly divided, and I don't see much color tonight. And I know that it's all complicated, but the issues are not black and white. Hey, but how can we come any closer if I just shake my head where I stand? There can never be any handshakes until somebody puts out their hand. I got a lot of hope for the future. Got a lot of faith things can work out fine. Got a lot of dreams for a better world. Got a lot of work to do, but I'm gonna make them mine. I got a lot of hope, yeah. Got a lot of faith, yeah, yeah. Got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, yeah. Got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of dreams. Tonight, it's really been a privilege and an honor to play music for you. I'd like to sing one a cappella song to close out. My voice is just a little bit rough tonight. We'll see how it goes, but I hope the spirit of it will get through, even if all the notes don't. It's a beautiful song that my friend Tom Payne wrote before I could get to it, and he's given me permission to sing it anywhere I want, so I'll sing it for you tonight. I put it on my children's album, but I think maybe it's for us grown-ups too. It's called 10 Lucky Pennies. If life is a question and the answer is time, are 10 lucky pennies the same as a dime? Come sing me a riddle, I'll sing you a rhyme. If life is a question and the answer is time, if time is a highway and moments make change, are pennies and moments just one and the same? Like a river makes oceans from small drops of rain. If time is a highway and moments make change, if change is a stranger with no lessons to teach, too plain to reach out to on a cold city street, who will count all our blessings in times such as these? If change is a stranger with no lessons to teach, there are clouds in your pillows and sparks in your sheets, but the ants on the sill know each second tastes sweet. If you listen, they'll tell you these secrets they keep. Sleep, little raindrop, sleep. Raindrops and rivers, moments and time, questions and answers, riddle. If life is a question and the answer is time, if life is a question and the answer is time. Blessings, friends. Thanks so much for your time tonight. Good to be with you. Keep in touch, and we'll see you round and round. Here you come, Jerry.
Coming up.
All right.
Just saying thank you tonight.
I'm going to step away for COVID precaution and all that good stuff.
Oh, Lord. Seriously?
Yep. We're going to stay alive for the next show.
We'll do it. So thank you so much, David. And it's kind of hard to say how I could possibly appreciate what he just did. He's my friend. COVID and all. Just saying. My guitar. One and tune and all. But thank you, David. God bless you all. My prayer for you is listen to your Father in heaven. Understand that grace is yours. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.